Just under a month ago, I got the chance to head back out to LEGOLAND Billund. This is my personal favourite theme park in Denmark and it's a great place to visit. However, even though their lineup mainly consists of dark rides and also flat rides, the park does also have a great selection of coasters. And of my two visits to the park, I think it's fair to say that Polar X-plorer is definitely the standout. Making its debut back in 2012, this is one of only 8 Zierer coasters in the country, and in terms of the appearance, Polar X-plorer has one of the best colour schemes in the country. This is due to the track being grey and the supports being brown. As much as it's quite uncommon for a coaster, I have to say that the park definitely made a great decision. This is due to blending in both the area and also the theming, and as much as the theming is not on the level of such rides as the Dragon in the same park, it's still a nice entrance side along with a decent queue line. However, what really surprised me was its 52-foot mountain. This is due to allowing for some great views along with the coaster heading through it. However, once the air gate is open, you'll then board the trains, and unlike most Zierer coasters, each of its 2 trains can hold a total of 16 riders, meaning that it can hold a total of 848 riders per hour, and even though it's quite common for a medium-sized coaster, the most we had to wait was only 30 minutes. However, just like the track and supports, the trains also had a great colour scheme. This is due to them being both orange and also black. Something else to point out was that it also had the logo on the Zierer car, and I have to say that it made for one of my trains in the country. However, once you pull down your restraint, you'll realise that the coaster only has a lap bar. This allows for some great airtime along with it being quite comfortable. However, even this is the case, the lap bars do also have shin guards. As much as it's not as noted towards other shin guards, it was definitely something to point out. However, in terms of the layout, Polar X-plorer starts off with taking a right hand turn before ascending the lift hill. As much as the coaster only reaches a height of 63 feet, you still get some great views over the park. However, once you reach the top of the lift hill, you'll then head down the twisted drop, and this is definitely one of the weaker first drops I've experienced. This is due to it not really giving any airtime and also not being that forceful. However, even this is the case, it's still quite a fun element. But after this, the coaster will then rise up into an airtime hill, and this is definitely one of the best parts of the ride. And as much as it doesn't look like a lot, it gives some of the best airtime in the country. Something to point out was that it also gives some great airtime in every row. However, after this, you'll then head through the 52-foot mountain. This makes for a great head chopper and just a great piece of theming. However, next up, the coaster then brings you through a right hand turn, and I have to say that it's actually quite forceful, and as much as the back row was still great, I definitely felt it more forceful towards the front of the train. However, after this, the coaster then brings you up into my personal favourite element on the coaster. This is of course the twisted airtime hill, and just like the first airtime hill, this is definitely one of the best in the country. This is due to getting some strong airtime whilst also banking to the left. However, something else to point out is that if you're on the front row, you also get a great head chop moment whilst heading through it. But after this, you'll then head through another turn, and even though it wasn't as forceful as the first turn, it still gave a bit of force towards the back of the train. However, next up, the coaster then takes you through a right hand turn before heading into the mid-course brake run, and I have to say that if you're on the front row, it offers some great views over the park. But next up, you'll then head inside of the mountain. As much as it looks great from the outside, the same cannot be said inside. This is due to the only piece of theming being a screen. However, even though it wasn't that great, the next element was the complete opposite. This is due to it being a drop track, and this is definitely one of the better ones I've experienced. But after this, the coaster will then take you outside and into an airtime hill, and even though it doesn't give any airtime, it was still great to experience. But after this, the coaster will then take you through a right hand turn before heading into the final brake run. However, something else to point out was that you actually get a view into the penguins. Overall, it's a great way to finish the coaster and definitely makes for one of the best brake runs. However, in terms of the smoothness, Polar X-plorer is actually one of the smoothest roller coasters I've ridden, and even though it wasn't a huge shock, due to most of the other Zierer coasters I've ridden being quite shaky, I was expecting for it to at least have a rattle. But after my 7 rides on it, I think it's safe to say that it's one of the smoothest roller coasters in the country. But something else which I really wanted to point out was the pacing. This is due to the coaster giving some great airtime and also never really slowing down. However, even this is the case, I have to say that the second half could definitely use some more speed. However, something else to point out was that Polar X-plorer definitely warms up throughout the day, and as much as the morning rides are still great, you can definitely feel the coaster slowing down at points. However, if you'd like to experience it at its full potential, I'd personally recommend experiencing it within the summer months. However, in terms of what row to head to, on both my visits I got to experience the front, middle and also the back, and even though the back row was great, I have to say that the coaster was definitely better on the front. This is due to getting some great airtime along with it also having a better sense of speed. But what was my overall opinion on Polar X-plorer? Polar X-plorer is one of my favourite roller coasters in Europe. This is due to having some great airtime along with it also having some decent theming. However, for my overall score, I'd personally give it a 5 out of 10. However, what is your opinion on Polar X-plorer? Make sure to leave any thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, I'll see you in the next one.